Good evening, good evening, good evening. This evening, we're going to talk about long and short money. And I got a few experiences I want to relate to you that have influenced my thoughts upon money, when you should take profits, when you shouldn't take profits. I got into it today with another Bitcoin fool, and I asked two questions. How much money have you made from Bitcoin? And how many people have you taught how to make money? Those questions still remain unanswered. One of the things I've learned when dealing with people who fancy themselves experts on something, who don't have a track record. You can hate me, you can like me, you could be a subscriber to the channel, or you could be one of those people as soon as I drop a video, you thumbs down it. But I have a track record. It's not made up, it's not imagined. I have a track record. You can Google certain things about me. You can Google and see books, and you can Google and see courses. So I'm not a Johnny come lately here. And today I saw something. Another person who doesn't really believe in Bitcoin, he said, I'm willing to bet on what you think about Bitcoin if we would put up an escrow account, which is one of my tricks, because with an escrow account, that means they got to put that money in an account, and whoever wins the bet gets the money. There's no backing out. And a lot of people don't, when it gets real like that, that's when people don't want to show up. But here's the first story that influenced my money philosophy. I had this Fender guitar. All of the guys said this guitar was worth $7,800. I was going to hold on to it. I was going to get, I had $7,800. I put 8,000 on it, and I had some dude come in and said, "I'll give you 6,500 cash money right now." And I was just like, no, I'll hold on to it. And I held on to it for almost a year. And a lady came in and she said, "I'll give you $6,200. So after a year of having this and holding on to it and moving around and worrying about it, I discovered, regardless of what the gods say, it's worth what someone is willing to pay for it at the time you want to sell it. That's what it's worth. And I went through this before, and I just took her $6,200. I could have had $6,500 a year earlier and taken that money and put it back in my business. Lesson learned. I bought my Bitcoin 2010. And when it rose, I sold it. And here are some of the reasons I sold it, going against my money philosophy. Bitcoin is a big splash, and cryptocurrency has a significant learning curve. So I looked at it and I was like, okay, just sell it. I actually thought I was going to leave about $5,000 on the table, because over the history of Bitcoin, it crashes, and it crashes substantially. This is just, you look at the path and it does this. And if you are a business owner, you can't really be messing around with crypto, because you will take your eye off of your business. And that's the sum I was not going to do, because I've been down that road before. I've learned what shiny stars can do. And I learned that when money's on the table, sometimes it's best to grab the money. And, I went ahead and said something that all of my friends who earn seven figures aren't interested in Bitcoin. And then people chime in, well, they should do it as a hedge against inflation. You have gold and silver for that. Typically, 5% of your portfolio should be made of gold and silver as a hedge against inflation. And one of the big things that I saw with this was the fanaticism. You have cryptocurrency fanatics who will tell you, I'm not into Bitcoin for the money. I'm into it because it represents a decentralized currency, which means, I'm free of the government. All of a sudden, all these people have become patriotic. And it's just funny. But, once again, if you're going to listen to someone about Bitcoin, ask them these few questions. How much money have you made from Bitcoin? Not percentages, because let's say you spent 300 bucks and your Bitcoin goes up to 1,000. You get $1,000 in Bitcoin. That's like a 600% return. Percentage wise, it sounds amazing, but I made $600. That doesn't sound so impressive. And this is one of the things that you'll hear many people speak in terms of percentages. They will not actually use real dollars. And also ask them how long they've been into it. Because many of you who've been watching the channel for many years, I was talking about Bitcoin long before most of these other people even knew what Bitcoin was. I found it. I thought it was cool. At one time, I tried to use it. Like, people pay me in Bitcoin. And one of the things is, people are not going to use Bitcoin as a currency because they want to hold on to it, because as it rises, they're going to hoard it. So it's not going to be used as a currency. And I saw that, and it just didn't work out. One of the lessons I've learned about money is you need cash flow. Every business needs cash flow. You need to, have a consistent cash flow. With cash flow, you can weather many storms. But one of the things that happens with a business, and many of these new businesses on the internet, they have very little to no cash flow. They're not making a lot of money. They're not even profitable. And this is one of the things I learned from the storage auction business. If we had cash flow, I had money to buy more storage units, which was the name of the game, because you bought more storage units, you got more opportunities to find something fantastic, something crazy, something wonderful. And I experienced those big hits like about 36 times on my own, and about 7 times as a collaboration. And I'm talking about, you spend $1,000, you make 60. I spent $1 one time on a safe that had gold Cougarans and estate jewelry and Morgan silver dollars. It was such a big windfall, because I remember I was breaking up into the safe, and my business partner was laughing at me. And I pulled out that first packet of jewelry and I held it up, and she came running down the stairs. It was an amazing moment. The more I reached in there, I pulled out the roll of Morgan silver dollars. And then when my hand touched those Cougarans, because I knew what they were as soon as I saw them, I was like, holy. And look up an African Cougaran. These were African Cougarans. They're about $1,400 a piece now, I think. Let's see, what are they? What are Cougarans going for? And I still have all of my Cougarans. Cougarans. And they're illegal. History. The Cougaran was introduced in 1967 as a vehicle for private ownership of gold. It was minted in a copper gold alloy, more durable than pure gold. Economic sanctions against South Africa for its policy of apartheid made an Cougaran an illegal import in Western countries during. Wow. This dude was a gangster. Cougarans have been worth $1,275. So with gold going through the roof, they're probably a little bit more expensive. But It was a big hit. And one of the things that happens when you're in businesses that can have those kind of moments is you learn a lot about money and yourself. You learn because the first few times you go crazy. You're like, man, I got all this money. I'm about to do something. I was at auctions just like Big Willie style, like, yeah, yeah, because I had the money. And then later on, when this happened again, you start to invest and bank the money because I do understand how these young athletes from college, these guys, one day you poor, the next day you a millionaire. That's some heady stuff. And they don't have anyone that they know and trust in most cases in the family that can help them manage this wealth. They just don't have that. So it's not a wonder why many of them go broke because that's a lot of money. You can go out and you can do anything. You can buy houses, cash money. You can buy cars, cash money. So it's a very heady experience. And I've been through that, but I've had enough wins where I wouldn't repeat that. Like if I played the lottery and I won the lottery, I would put it in commercial real estate. Every last penny, I wouldn't hold on to any of it. Maybe 10% to blow, but 99% would go on there. What's up, Izzy? I know Bitcoin's not stable. What's up, the guy on the internet? You can always tell when the circus in town, when Bitcoin is making a run, all the clowns and weirdos come out. Man, ain't that true? The guy on the internet, this is my prediction the same. Bitcoin will go over 20K and then crash again, even worse than last time. And if you look at the history, that's what it does. And nowhere in history have I seen people willing to invest money in something that they know is volatile. It's like nitroglycerin, highly volatile, very unstable, and it will create. It was one of the craziest things that when you deal with money, because I had many phases of dealing with money. Like the internet money to me is the long money. I've been making money on the internet for about 20 years, including my eBay and Amazon days. At one point, 68% of our profits from the storage auction business came from online. And at one point, all of the money was coming from online. And this is how the upscale garage sale came into being. One of the lessons I learned, because, if you've been watching the channel for many years, I talk about how eBay will cut you off and PayPal will cut you off. And those things happened to me and they held on to a significant amount of money. And this is one of the reasons that I am a saver. I always save a significant chunk of the money that I have coming in because you never know. And also from learning from all of these storage units of business owners who didn't save any money and they were making like $200,000-$300,000 a month and they go out of business because they got crackhead spending habits. So I learned from that. But you also want to have a long money plan and a short money plan. Like for me, my long money plan is my internet business. I've been making money. I've been comfortable making money online for 20 years. It doesn't scare me. It doesn't weird me out. And many people are still unsure of making money online. They're just unsure of it from a personal standpoint. Jabe, Really? Thanks, Walter White. Yeah, Lavore Lee. They were like anti-merchant. They will hold your money in a heartbeat and then make you jump through all kind of hoops to get your money back. Is the Doris in any moment a group of Bitcoin collectors could decide just to buy low to sell high again? One whale, and this is one of the problems with Bitcoin. One whale can shift the market. One, just one. Optimism can be addictive. The difference is entrepreneurs are willing to put work behind it. That is true. That is true. One of the things, Patrick, how did your eBay account get suspended? I bought a storage unit full of antique dolls, and these were like beautiful. I mean, it was like 200 dolls. And I started selling them on my main eBay account, and my eBay volume quadrupled in a week. And that's why I got suspended for selling too much. And I remember being on the phone with the rep, and it's like, your volume has quadrupled. And I was like, yeah, that's the plan. People were getting their products. I didn't have any, they just jumped the gun. Dave's not here. What's your opinion on stock trading, day traders for a swing trader versus investors? Specifically, I just got here. One, if you're an investor, you buy and hold. If you're a trader, you buy and manipulate, on the manipulations of the stock price. If you know what you're doing, those are proven business models. And any trader who's being honest will tell you it's going to take you 4 to 6 years of losing money to learn how to do it. Lance Brown, sounds like you two with the money. Rent-seeking behavior is a mofo. And that's what a lot of this is, because you've got people out here who they have no notability to their name. They're just some dude on the internet. But this dude, he invited me to a live stream that he had talking about me, right? And I was like, I'm not going there. I'm just going to wait until your stream is finished, and then I'm going to do a copyright strike on it and get it taken down. But yeah, because this is one of the reasons. This is very bad in the manosphere, and people like, I'll tell you what happened to me. I had a bunch of people using my image and using my name in videos without my permission. And if you know anything about YouTube, no one can use your name or any of your content from your channel without your permission. You can just go to YouTube and they'll take that down. And you got a lot of people who feel that they can use your image and use your name, and you should just suck it up. But they don't know about intellectual property. Roman Arcanist, Bitcoin will break its 20,000 record later this year. By the end of next year, we'll set a new record. Then in January 2021, it will crash again too low, not as low as the last one. So this is the whole thing with it. If you're investing in cryptocurrency, you got to keep putting money in, and you got to keep having money, and you got to keep investing and wait many years sometimes. Like, that's what happened to me. I bought it in 2010 and I sold it in 2017. So I held on to it for 7 years. That was the sign of an investor. You got many people out here who have become Bitcoin experts and technical analysis experts after just doing a little reading. And the thing is, we don't even know if the Satoshi, the guy who supposedly invented Bitcoin, we don't even know if this dude exists. But people would rather believe that than to believe someone who has been making money for decades. That's what's ironic. It's wild because like I said, I'm gonna have it taken down. Um, because one, because I will watch it tomorrow because you have to watch it to put where they use your content in the complaint. But neither one of my questions was answered. How much money did you personally make from Bitcoin? And have you taught people how to make money? Because you got a lot of people, it's like, man, you need to get on this Bitcoin thing, man. He was like, you keep listening to old people like Glendon Cameron, you gonna lose money. You could have made money. And I look at that and I'm like, in my heart, I feel having a business is the best way to make long-term money because you can grow it, you can push it. Ganja. Yeah, it's back to 13. It dropped $1,800 today. See, we're gonna get back to that because this is one of the reasons I got rid of my Bitcoin because it commands so much attention. Um, you're always checking. You always unless you're just a very disciplined person, you buy some and you hold on to it and you don't look at it because consistently it's doing crazy things. CR2 lives long money versus short money. I tend to play the long game in life. Yeah, because you should have a short-term money gambit, a hustle, and a long-term business model for the long money. Because what I plan on doing is increasing these universities. Dominant Mail is already blowing up. Disruptive Mail, I'm gonna have that website. I'm gonna have Hustlers Kung Fu, and then I'm gonna create another one because I got a 10-year plan for this. And like with the Dominant Male, I can speak on many subjects that many folks cannot speak on. I can train dudes how to be dominant men. This is one, from buying that storage unit all those years ago from an old school dom. He had the Polaroids, which I sold on eBay for serious money. So there's a lot of mentoring and training I can do, and that's my long-term money plan because there are so many people out here in need of help. Aries Williams, I teach how to trade currency for William. Good deal. If you look at Bitcoin in the last 10 years, it runs the cycles. Every 3 years, it breaks a new record, then it crashes. The low is always higher than the previous low. Once again, it's going to crash. But, once again, be real. We will see if it's going to go past that number because once again, it's manipulated. You got like 200 people who own a lot of Bitcoin that any one of them could sell, and they got their Bitcoin cheap. I'm like, they got it for cents. And a lot of them have pulled all of their money out of the market and they're playing with just market money. So they can do whenever. Izzy, I agree. You have no control of what's going to happen next with Bitcoin. You can only speculate. Pretty much. Whereas a business, you have a lot of control in that. How hard you work, how hard you hustle, how good your advertising is. You have so much more control with that. And if you're poor, you need to start a business. That's going to radically change your life other than buying some Bitcoin. Josh Barr, it's crazy. You've made more money from Bitcoin than most of the people talk about. And they never tell you how much they made. They just hoping that it's going to crack one day. Roman Arches, all markets are manipulated. Not like Bitcoin. One of the reasons that you've seen so much manipulation is Bitcoin for a long time was unregulated. So you saw stuff that they couldn't do on the stock market or the bond market or in the currency market. So I would say, yeah, there's a little manipulation here and there, but not like with Bitcoin. Bitcoin is massively manipulated. No, I'm not doing any Bitcoin courses. Intelligent hustle. Yeah, in my opinion, Bitcoin is intended for funding a bigger business. Bitcoin shouldn't be an end all, be the solution. You can make money on the appreciation of and the depreciation of Bitcoin and other currencies as a margin trader. All right, Aries Williams. You know how good you have to be to do that, because you say that like it's so simple. A lot of people don't even know what a call or a put or a short is. So you go ahead and take someone who doesn't know, who hasn't studied that, and they're probably going to lose their ass. That's probably where they're going to be. Guy on the internet, I agree, because once again, your portfolio should have no more than 1 to 2% of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies because they're so volatile. I mean, if your job, if your job where you went to work every day had these periods of peaks and booms where they were booming, then like every 4 weeks you get laid off because they get slow, you ain't gonna keep that job. You're gonna get another more consistent job. Because Aries, like, one of the things is, if you're gonna make money as Bitcoin goes up, or you're gonna make money as Bitcoin goes down, you gotta be damn good. You can't be some rookie just, pouring some money into Bitcoin. You got to be, this is something you have to study. This is something that you need to practice on a daily basis. And this is one of the reasons I got rid of my Bitcoin, was it can be such a powerful draw that I would take my off of this business, which has been proven to put money in my pocket every day. There's not a day that this business doesn't make me money. So with that as an option, it was an easy sell. Just sell it, walk away, let the people say I'm crazy, I'm losing money. Just get rid of it. And that's what I did, because I knew that, and when I was making my predictions last year, which I was 100% spot on, um, nobody was talking because they were all shell shocked. People had taken out mortgage level debt to buy Bitcoin at the top, and it crashed. And if they sold and they hold on to now, what's up, Johnny Walden, Miss Finance? So part of a money philosophy, because it's going to be hard for you to develop a rich mindset when you never had money. It's a subtle thing, but it's hard to develop when you don't have money. And it's hard to develop when you haven't been through cycles. Because I've been through foolish cycles, and now I'm in a very stable, calm cycle. Save money, stack money, stack money. There's some opportunities I want to get into later this year, and that's what I'm preparing for. So I'm a different cat. But one of the things that I feel in, the comment was listening to old people like Glendon Cameron. And that got me because, I live in a wealthy neighborhood, and there's a bunch of old people around here because it usually takes some time to make a lot of money. There are no 30-year-olds. There's no young, no young bucks around here. There may be one or two, but there's not many. Intelligent hustlers and cryptocurrencies follows the same business model of tech startups, and many of them fail if there's no funding behind it. Man, that's a lot of tech companies, because once they run out of investor money, they out of business, because they were designing their company to get more investor money and not to become a profitable enterprise. Roman, I personally make six figures on cryptocurrency, and I'm working on becoming self-employed on the internet. Always open for ideas. I do. How much money exactly? How much money do you make from cryptocurrency per month? because I have a lot of people. It's like I make money from crypto, but they never actually say how much. Um, I don't want to do any trading on this channel. I don't want to go down that path because one, I don't have a lot of experience with it. The digital money channel, probably, I don't know. I can't say because, after me coming back from the heart attack, a lot of stuff shifted. So, Roman Archonist, you make six figures from crypto. How do you do it? How much money you made? Because that's real easy to say, but there's a lot of people who say they make it from crypto, but I don't know your Facebook page, but I go on their Facebook page and they look and sound poor and they look and sound broke. So, since you volunteered, you make six figures. And also, this could be an education for the viewers because, once again, if you're willing to put in the work, and it's a lot of work, you had to put a lot of work in crypto. You're not going to be able to do this part time. I really want to know the answer to that because I've made money with crypto, but it's not sustainable. And I did not want to reorient my life around learning how to short cryptocurrencies, how to get, because one, it can be done, but that's a full-time job. I already have a full-time job that pays very handsomely. So I didn't want to do that. And this is one of the things because until cryptocurrency, because 99% of the world doesn't own any cryptocurrency. 99% of the world doesn't own any cryptocurrency. And, some things will have to happen before mass adoption takes place. You looked in your Binance account this week after 6 months. Now, becoming self-employed on the internet is easier than learning about cryptocurrency. It's much easier than learning about cryptocurrency. One of the things, and this is what I've learned, is pick an area that you want to make money in it and become very good at it. So you got all of these half-hearted crypto traders who are, because they're all coming out from under the rocks, like they were like gone. And now they're like, yeah, I knew it would come back and all this other stuff. Crypto is heavily dominated by speculators. Absolutely. When something can move on a whisper or the announcement that Facebook is coming up with a cryptocurrency and that moves the price up, that's just crazy to me. All right, Roman Arcanist, it's in cycles. There is no monthly amount. It's more learn-turn to build on to my retirement. I still work on my business outside of crypto. You can make figures just not per month. So that's collectively. Okay. So this is not something that you can actually live off of. And this is more for later. I got you. Cosmic Wisdom. I dabbled in crypto until it went crazy high, but not big money, never sold. I'm putting my money into rentals. Got my first rental on the contract closing towards the end of July. All right. All right. Because one of the things is, let's talk about the short money. Every man should have a hustle, something that puts at least a G a month in their wallet, in their pocket. Because there's, hustles, there's many hustles that you can create that, you can cut grass, you could do pressure washing, you can have a lemonade stand. There are many little hustles that you can do that will give you $1,000 a month. And that's where you should be, because on top of your job, because one of the things that I've experienced in my life was when I was making money at such an accelerated rate, and I did a few stupid things, but it didn't hurt me because the money was coming in so fast. And that's where the principle of make more money, because once you have sound financial judgment, you manage the money you make very well, then you make more. This is when you'll start to see your financial life change. Save, invest, repeat. I know several people that teach courses on crypto, but none of them own any crypto. They always talking about the deal they got away. Worst old man with their fishing stories. Good Lord. Really? That's crazy, man. That is absolutely crazy. What do you think about condos? Real estate could be good if you get in a building that allows rentals. Because see, some people get stuck in a condo that only allows a certain percentage of their rentals to be rented out. So you got to be careful there. But everyone should have a plan to make money, a predictable plan, because you could do like the video, how to find gold at garage sales. I've gotten so many emails from people like, thank you for this video. And the average person has been doing 14 to $20,000 per year going to garage sales and getting costume jewelry and gold. That's predictable income, because one of the things is, you have your investments. This is money that you're not going to touch. You don't need it now. And that can be your long-term business model, or that can be investments. And you will still need a short-term hustle to give you daily money, because you got to eat, you got to have a place to stay, you need gas for your car. So that's what your hustle could be for, or your job. And then you make more money to create more revenue streams. All right. You can make money playing the market, but you don't choose when the market pays you. Having a business allows you consistent cash flow. Exactly. I have month in, month out predictable cash flow. I pretty much know what I'm going to make next month already. And, actually, it's going to go up because I'm introducing new courses. And this is one of the things that I learned, the storage auction business. We had created predictable income. If we buy X amount of units, we would make a certain amount. So this is one of my biggest issues with cryptocurrency. Let's say you stack in cryptocurrency, and then you have a life event where you need money and the market's down. You screwed. You sell to get that money and you lost money. I don't want to deal from HOAs from a rental standpoint. Yeah, I would be wary of that. Um, so a big thing is doing having a sound financial plan, and writing it down and writing out an execution model, because, well, like I said, money is out there. There's some money out there with your name on it. And I will stand on this, that investing in a part-time hustle or a long-term business model is going to give you more money than cryptocurrency, unless you got in super early. Because, like, let's see, what is it now? What is it now? All right, it's jumped up today. It's done all kinds of stuff. It's $13,300 for one Bitcoin. So most people, because of that price point, cannot even buy a full Bitcoin. They can get a fraction of a Bitcoin. And once again, You got to have massive appreciation, which it may do. It's going to crash because it goes through these cycles. But what if you need the money? What if you want to do something with the money? Whereas if you have a hustle or a long-term business model that throws off cash, then you're in a much better position because you know I will say what I make per month is way more than these crypto profits. And this is consistent income, and I have the option of doing more to make more money. There ain't nothing you can do with crypto. You can want it all day to go up, and it don't mean nothing. Kevin Perkins, Cosme Williams Wisdom. Man, I keep a finance journal since 27 years old and projected by net worth 10 years out. It's amazing that I surpassed those goals. And listen to this man, write it down to keep yourself accountable. Yeah, you got to write it down. That's excellent, Cosmic Wisdom. So, once again, do not be caught up in this cryptocurrency. Once again, I'm giving you advice. If you're not making a lot of extra disposable cash where you got money to blow, don't mess with crypto. If you poor, don't mess with crypto. I heard all this stuff about there's these groups of people, everyone talking about crypto. I've not seen anybody except for people who got in cryptocurrency early balling out of control. Haven't seen any of them because it ain't happening. It's just not going to happen. And once again, when you got money on the table and you're looking at the marketplace, often it's a good time to take that money off of the table. And penny stocks, that's another gambit right there. That's another crazy one. But just some money lessons that if you've learned from a person who's been through a lot of changes. I've been like absolute broke, living in the boarding house, and I've been paying brand cash for new cars. And in the future, I'll be paying cash for houses. So one of the things in that journey is I've seen the flow of money. I've seen like one of the best things you can do when you have a business or hustle moving is keep your job until it becomes inconvenient to do so. I never tell people to quit their jobs. And I'm like, Kevin Perkins, you need to start a business so you can get you some real money. I post on D2 much more than YouTube. I get paid more on it. Bitcoin does much better than the dollar. I sell off my crypto when crypto's up. DTube. I remember something about that. If you can get a Facebook Watch, I know someone who gets paid $1 million a year for her Facebook Watch account. This is funny. That is funny. So at the moment, Bitcoin is $13,300. It's on the move. How soon will it get to 20K? How soon will it get to 25K and crash again? What about stocks? Kevin Perkins just speaking out his ass on this. Give me some proof of what you say to be true, not assumptions, not opinions, but absolute proof of what you're saying. You can't do it because you don't know. Because it's been interesting. Lewis Sutton, I like that. The best investment is yourself. Definitely. Definitely. So a big lesson is you should aim to put away 50% of your income. For many people, that's just not possible. So the second step would be to get your income to a point where you can put away 50% of your income. When you're putting that kind of money away, that's when you're going to see your investments take off. This is what some of the fire people do. And, for the ones who have high incomes, it makes sense. But for the ones, you're making 30K, you can't put 20K away and live on the rest. You just can't. Crypto bought me the place I live in cash. It's not all bad. Oh man, the truth is, people who make money with crypto turn to real estate to diversify in wealth preservation. Same goal can be achieved with a business. Absolutely, that's my plan. That is one of my plans. In Roman Archon, I have a feeling you got in early, just a feeling. And everyone can't get in early because I saw a lot of people talking about investing in crypto, just to invest in crypto with no plan, no investing schematic. 13,000 a new car wash. There's a lot of businesses you can get into because you can get to a service business with little to no investment. If you are a person who is broke and you want to start making some large money, start a service business. A service business is anything that takes over a task or something that people don't like: cutting grass, pressure washing, hauling stuff off. 1-800 Got Junk does $1 million a day. I was seeing the guy talk about it. He said it took him, he had one truck for 8 years and then they started scaling. D Nice, how do you feel about investing in two taxable platforms like M1 Finance and Acorns? Once again, there's what I call poor people investments, and that's poor people investments. You got an extra 10, 20, 30, $40 and you invest it there. It ain't really going to change your life, and it's not really going to prepare you for retirement. I mean, they're good to have, but there was this video on YouTube where this guy, he's a seasoned investor, and he used the Acorn app and turned $2,000 by trading into $22,000 in a month. Kevin Perkins, how much money have you ever made in your life? I'm just curious. Short change, why people are investing and have no attitude money. That is a good question because everybody, in my opinion, should have $10,000 somewhere, minimum, preferably 25. And then that's your attitude money. And that's not money to be invested. That's money that you keep in a money market fund. That's your attitude money. But a lot of people don't have that. I think many people are looking for quick returns or spectacular gains. And typically, money takes time to accumulate because, I looked at some of my friends' businesses and I looked at when they broke out, and it was always 7, 8, 9 years. Years. It wasn't months, it wasn't weeks. And then it just got super lovely. Lewis Sutton. That's usually a lot of money to have for that. But one of the things is, your long money plan should be a business model that you can grow over decades. That's when you're thinking like, okay, my 10-year plan is to grow these online universities for the next 10 years. So that's what I'm going to be doing for the next 10 years. And I'm probably going to put together another one after I get disruptive mail where I want it to be, after I get money, income, profit. Because the thing is, when you look at it from a 10-year standpoint, it's way different than when you look at it from a month to month standpoint. So this is why I've changed up doing things. This is why a lot of things are different. Save, invest, repeat. He ain't gonna do that. Nobody's ever does stuff like that. One of the things is, what I believe is, I take people at face value unless I have some reason not to take them. Like the people that ask simple questions that they refuse to answer, those yardbirds I know are full of it. Simple question: how much money have you made off Bitcoin? Well, I've made like 60K. That should be easy. But once again, the people that you ask that question who say they made money bought Bitcoin a long time ago. So you've got that going on. And one of the things about money needs to circulate. And this is why having a business is so good, because you have money coming into the business, you put money into the business. So that money is circulating. Um, Money can accumulate if you have the right environment. I have a stock, you buy certain stocks, it appreciates. Because I think if you had bought Amazon for when it, $1,000 worth of Amazon 14 years ago, you have like $56,000 right now. So that was money that stacked up. I'm good with money, but most women I date are horrible with money. I tend to make money, they don't. That's a whole nother, that's a topic for the Influence Frame channel. But one of the big things is, you got to have a plan for your money. And I see a lot of people jumping on cryptocurrency as some kind of savior to eradicate bad money management. That you don't, because the thing is, you need to have a certain level of discipline to experience success within the investment. And bad habits just don't cut it. Like this one guy's unit I got, he used to own a seafood restaurant, making plenty of money, but he had too many bad habits. He had 4 leased vehicles, 4 of them. And also, I'm from the fan of pay cash for your toys. I've got 2 really nice cars and I paid cash for them. It was a sunk cost. Yes, cars are depreciating asset, but I don't have to worry about car payments. I don't have to worry about credit card payments. I typically pay my credit card off end of the week, sometimes daily, just depends upon usage. I just don't like having a lot of bills. And one of the things that you have to understand is, you can set your life up accordingly if you have some discipline. Opulence as an excellence. Business is the undisputed way. There are no tax deductions for these certain type of investments. Play the proper money game. Absolutely. Because one person actually was talking about my tax situation. And I said, like, no, I know how to play the game. And then he's like, I pay no taxes. I said, as an American citizen, you're supposed to be paying taxes on your Bitcoin gains. And he got quiet after that. They started going after people who were bragging about making all this money from Bitcoin. So there's just many paths here, but the thing is, you have your investments, which have their place over here. And the investment is money that you're not touching, you don't need. And a business or a good hustle can provide you money that you can use in your life right now. An investment is money for the future, like your retirement. A business can do that. Like, I have a friend who owns the building that her business is in. She bought this building 2007. She had a 20-year mortgage on it, unless she refinanced. I don't know. So she is 13 years into that mortgage with $7,000 a month. That building, she'll be able to rent out that building. If she decided to close her business, rent it out to someone else, she rent that building out for about $15K a month. That building could be her retirement easy. I live in the RV. You one of those on the road people. It's funny when I see someone making 20K a year, yet they lease a car, 35K that keeps you broke. Yeah, that's a lot of people. When I was at work today, I was talking to this jackass. He says 70K a year is shit. He makes about 120K a year. I told him that he was full of shit to say that 70K ain't no money. To him, there ain't no money. And this is something that people who make six figures and all of their friends make six figures, they forget. And they don't even know that the average income in this country is 28 to 32K a year. They don't even know those people. So they're like invisible to them. Do, 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 do. Save Invest, Roman Arkansas. You bought a car. My service company allowed me to pay cash for 3 real houses. And that's really strong, man. That's very strong. That is super strong. But we're just having this conversation to give you guys some stuff to think about. Because if you go out tomorrow and create yourself a nice little hustle that makes you $2,500 per month, that's $30,000 a year on top of your income. You can't do that with Bitcoin. You can't do that. Well, when I created the course, 30 days to 2,500, because that's a very attainable goal for most small businesses. You can't do that with Bitcoin. It's too erratic, because typically people have monthly expenses. They need a predictable monthly income, and they don't need sporadic income that comes in this way. I have saved 70K before making 70K a year, sadly. Opulence is excellence. Tax deductions for mileage in your car for business is currently 58 cents per mile. 10,000 miles driven a year is 5,800 in mileage deductions alone. Think, people. Yeah, because starting a business is the only way that you can really play the tax game effectively. That's the only way, because they've taken away so many deductions. And this is one of the ways that you can win the tax game, is by starting a business, even a smart business. I have a course. You can start a YouTube channel, and you could get a lot of your federal income tax money back by starting a YouTube channel. And all you got to put up is one video a week. But it takes people executing and doing certain things. So that's a big part of it. All right. That's enough chit chat for you guys. Yep. So under this live stream is a pathway of the courses that you need to take to help you have a better life. First of all is your free audiobook. Go ahead and get that. And then the courses that you need to buy. They won't hurt your pockets. You can make a minimum wage. You can still afford these courses. And just get the courses, go through them, and build upon the education, because there's some money out there with your name on it. It's just waiting for you to come get it. So with that, I'll see you guys later.